Hey guys, thanks for joining in. Looks like a few folks have already jumped on, so we're just going to go ahead and get started right now. My name is Michael. I'm with the customer success team over here at Clear Estimates, and today we're going to talk about getting more confident with your estimating and how we can do that through the power of accurate local cost data. Now, I don't need to tell you how challenging it can be to write up accurate estimates. Material costs fluctuate, clients are indecisive. Estimating labor can be even tougher. How much time is this going to take? What rates should I expect to be paying out? Not uncommon to just end up ballparking a number, taking an educated guess on what to bill out for labor just to get an estimate out the door. But this is where Clear Estimates is a game changer. We have accurate local cost data right at our fingertips, including labor rates that are updated for us automatically. So this way we don't need to ballpark those figures, we don't need to guesstimate any man hours. The system's not only going to save us time writing the estimate, but it's going to give us accurate, locally sourced remodeling costs that we can use to price out our projects. So this way we can build up our estimates quickly, confidently, and profitably using the most up-to-date costs from suppliers right in our region. Now, a subscriber wrote into me last week and he says, "Hey, I'm curious, how flexible is the software, let's say if my client is buying all the materials?" So we're going to do a couple of things at once here today. We're going to jump into Clear Estimates. We're going to show you how easy it is to put together a cabinet replacement estimate. And we're also going to show you how it's flexible for any situation we might run into, whether we're estimating materials or labor or both. Now, just a little background here. A ton of work goes in behind the scenes every quarter surveying regional suppliers to give you accurate material pricing that you can use to build your estimates. And the result is we're going to have this amazing database of up-to-date remodeling costs updated for us automatically every quarter. So this includes plenty of pricing for all things kitchen. So flooring, cabinets, counters, sinks, vanities, appliances, you name it. And the system also saves us time building the estimate because we're going to have about 300 or so top-notch templates for common jobs. And this is going to include cabinet and counter replacement templates that save tons of time on those jobs. And at the end of the day, it's going to create a personalized professional proposal from our estimate that we can share with our client. Now, for labor, we look at a variety of statistics, including contractor survey data, to provide up-to-date hourly rate suggestions covering a variety of different trade types. So this way we can account for the crew's pay rate and labor burden right in the estimate without extra steps. Now, these rates are going to be regionally specific. They're already built into thousands of line items in your library, and there's even going to be average labor hours built into each part, so we don't have to guesstimate any man hours. So this just makes it easy to price out both material and labor costs just by plugging in our measurements. And if you're working with subs, the system is flexible enough to plug in their rates on the go. So let's see how easy all of this is. We're going to jump into Clear Estimates. We're going to put together just a simple countertop and cabinet replacement and estimate in Clear Estimates. This is actually the estimate we're going to build today. This is a takeoff I put together. I just went through the kitchen with my client, took all my measurements, and figured out everything we're going to need to price out here. So pretty simple estimate here. We're just going to be pulling out some wall cabinets and an old countertop, installing a new granite countertop and some base cabinets, and we're going to install and hook up a new sink and faucet, a dishwasher. And this estimate is interesting because in this case, my client is picking up all the materials, so we're really just going to be estimating the labor costs. So we'll show you how to handle that in the system. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead and stop my camera here just so you can see everything that's going on. And when we first log into Clear Estimates, we're going to be taken right to this home page. This is kind of our dashboard for recent estimates we've worked on. This is also where we can start a new project. Now, just a heads up, if you haven't logged into the system at all just yet, I do recommend taking a look at this quick tutorial that's here on the home page. This is going to show you how to start a project, the general estimating process. So I recommend taking a look at this or one of our other getting started guides. I'm also going to share out a resource here at the end of the presentation if you'd be interested in scheduling a one-on-one walkthrough call that's included in your trial subscription, or if you're a paid subscriber, we'd be happy to schedule some time with you. But in this case, we're just going to be putting together this pretty simple estimate once again for cabinets and countertop replacement. Now, one of the things you might want to do when you first sign up is take a look at the labor rate suggestions. We could do that by finding our options tool right up here in the top right corner. And then we want to find our labor rate editor over here on the left. And this is where we can see the suggested rates for the location we chose for our pricing. So I set up with Ann Arbor, Michigan. Keep in mind, you can always adjust your location if you want to use costs from a different area. But right here, we're going to see suggested labor rates for all of these different trades. Now, if you're curious what's included in these rates, you can hover over this rate text right here, and it's going to give you a little explainer on what's included in all the rates. Just keep in mind, these are more for an in-house crew. These aren't a subcontractor's rate. rate. They don't include any markup. That being said, you're going to have these suggested rates already built into your parts, and you can also make adjustments right here from the rate column if you charge a different amount per hour to do different tasks. And then you can quickly save changes here. So this way we don't have to update labor rates in every single part in our estimate. We can just do it on the fly right here in the labor rate editor, and it'll apply those changes to future estimates. But I'm going to go ahead and just use the built-in rate suggestions for my area. I'm going to head back to my home page. And once again, this is where we could start a new project just by clicking New Project. But in this case, I've already set up a blank project here for cabinet and countertop replacement. I'm going to go ahead and click this project title, and that's going to open up this estimate. So that once again, just a blank project I set up. Now, when I click that, it's going to take me right to the projects page, and this is where all the estimating takes place in Clear Estimates, is right here on the projects page. So if you are building up a job, you want to make sure you're right here on this page. And everything really involves adding parts into your estimate. Now, a part's just a line item. It's something with a description and a cost that prices out a scope of work. And we have a library of about 15,000 line items for common remodeling work that we can look through and add into our project. There's also going to be pre-built templates. These are an enormous time saver when it comes to estimating. We're going to be taking a look at all of this today. The first thing I want to do before we dive too deep into that estimate is take a look at what costs are available for a kitchen remodeler in the system. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and find this button right here, Browse Part Library. This is going to pull up the full catalog of cost data from Clear Estimates. Now keep in mind, everything's sorted by category, so I can use this category dropdown to browse through the different types of costs. Should be roughly chronological to the way you'd be doing the work in your project. We're starting off with prep work. Then there's a number of categories for demolition costs. Further down in the list, we're going to start getting into the building portions for things like concrete and masonry and framing. So you can see there's so much built in for a remodeling contractor right out of the box. Now for kitchens, let's take a look at a couple of different categories of parts here. So for example, if we wanted to take a look at some kitchen plumbing, I'm going to select this category here for kitchen and laundry plumbing. Now, when I click this category, it's going to show me all of the line items built into this category down here below. And we can see that we have descriptions, we have material costs, and labor hours built into all of these different parts, once again, specific from our region. And this just makes it really easy to go through this list of parts, choose what we need, and plug in a quantity. Now, since there is so many different parts built into this category, we can use this middle dropdown to get more specific here. So under kitchen, laundry, plumbing, we've got costs for kitchen and laundry rough-in, removing existing fixtures. And then further down, we're going to get into specific material costs like kitchen sinks, faucets, disposers, dishwashers, and so on. So you can see there's so much built in just for the kitchen plumbing here. So for example, if I want to grab kitchen sink, keep in mind, a lot of times you can sort by type of sink or type of part using this third part group drop down right over here. So this is where we could sort sinks by stainless steel or enameled cast iron. So let's go ahead and grab kitchen sink stainless steel. And then we can just kind of look through this list. It's going to narrow this down a little bit for us. And then we can just go ahead and grab the part we need. So let's say we wanted to go ahead and grab this kitchen sink part. And this allows us to just very quickly plug in a quantity. We've already got the cost defined for us. And this allows us as an estimator just to plug in our quantity into this blue bar. Let's say we wanted to price out 3 sinks. We can plug in 3. That's going to give us the material cost for 3 sinks. And then we can quickly add the part to our estimate. So let's go back to search here, and let's do this again. Let's take a look at, since we are going to be doing a cabinet and countertop estimate, we can take a look at what's included there. And under 32 cabinets and countertops, we're looking at costs for removing kitchen cabinets, installing base cabinets, installing wall cabinets. Further down, we're going to get into specific material costs for base cabinets, wall cabinets, specialty kitchen cabinets, and a variety of different grades here. And a little bit further down the list, we can find things like kitchen countertops. So if I want to go ahead and grab kitchen countertops, once again, I can sort by type of countertop over here. Countertop removal, laminate, solid surface, granite. Let's go ahead and grab granite countertops. And once again, this is just going to narrow down our part search. So we're just looking at a handful of options with costs built in for each. I'm going to go ahead and grab this first part for install granite countertop, no backsplash, standard edge average. I'm going to go ahead and click that part. And once again, it's going to pull up this part preview where we can see there's already labor costs and material costs built in for this part. And what it's looking for is the square footage of the countertop surface. So let's just say, for example, this was the counter we were going to be building. So it's about 15 linear feet long, 24 inches in depth, so about 30 square feet of countertop surface. So let's go back here into the part. We're just going to go ahead and plug in 30 square feet. That's going to price out our material and labor. Now, like we were saying, if our client's picking up the material cost, before I add this part into my project, I can just very quickly uncheck material costs. This way it's a labor only cost, and then we'll go ahead and add that part into our project. If I close out of here, we can see what we did. We just added this single part to our estimate. We have our cost built into it. Since this is a pre-markup cost, we can then later apply markup to the project. So this way we can make a profit on that. So you can see how easy it is to just really look through the library of costs, find an item, price it out, add it into the job here. So let's go ahead back into the library. Let's take a look at what else is available. So maybe you need to do some tile flooring in a kitchen. We're going to have a whole category for floor coverings here. This is going to include labor costs to install flooring, as well as things like subfloor and underlayment. And then further down, we're going to get into things like ceramic tile flooring, stone flooring, carpeting, wood plank, vinyl wood plank flooring. So there's so much built in right out of the box. If we needed to price out something like drywall, let's head over into wall coverings. And then we have all of these different choices built in for different types of drywall: standard, moisture resistant, small area, fire rated. So you can see how easy it is to just kind of browse through this list, find what we need, plug in our quantity, then we can make any adjustments to the costs as needed and add that part into our project. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this actual estimate here. So once again, this is a takeoff. It's just everything I need to do for this specific estimate. And we're just going to be pulling out some old wall cabinets, and we're going to be installing a new countertop and some base cabinets, dishwasher, and a sink here. Now, to save a little bit of time on this estimate, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the pre-built templates for cabinets, and I'm going to use one of the pre-built templates for countertops here to build out my estimate. So I'm going to go ahead and click this option here for Add Template. And again, a template is just a pre-built estimate. It's designed to save us time, and we have about 300 or so pre-built templates for common jobs. Now, if I scroll down here in my category list to kitchens, I can use this middle drop-down to select a specific kitchen template. So we're looking at templates for base cabinet replacement, wall cabinet replacement, backsplash replacement, cooktop replacement. And then a little further down in the list, we'll actually get into new build kitchen templates. So these are complete new kitchens, and remodel templates in a variety of grades: average, economy, premium grade, even major kitchen remodel templates. And it's great because this is just a list of suggested items that are commonly seen in different types of projects, and it's going to try to cover as much ground as possible. This way we don't have to search for all these items one by one. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have for cabinets. And so here I have a couple of different templates for base cabinet replacement. In this case, it's going to be premium grade base cabinets. I'm going to go ahead and grab base cabinet replacement premium. And then it's just going to be a handful of items that are commonly seen in this type of a cabinet replacement. Now, what's nice about these templates is that they all have formulas attached that tie back to this overall template quantity right up here at the top right. And what this allows me to do as an estimator is just plug in how many linear feet of cabinets need to be replaced here. So looking at my takeoff, I have 12 linear feet of new base cabinets that need to be installed. So let's just go ahead and plug this in as our template quantity. So 12 linear feet, and we'll go ahead and click Calculate Quantities. And this is going to price out all of the items in this template at 12 linear feet automatically for me. Now, you do want to think about these as a starting point. You want to just compare what the template is suggesting to your takeoff and just make sure that everything looks correct here. So in this template, I've just got a handful of items. I have one for installing premium grade base cabinets and another for removing kitchen cabinets, base or wall. Now, it's suggesting 12 linear feet for the removal, but actually what's happening in this estimate is I'm removing old wall cabinets, 18 linear feet of them. So all I need to do here in the template is just find that removal and adjust that to 18 linear feet. And that's going to dial in my price for removing 18 linear feet of cabinets. And then I have my 12 linear feet of new base cabinet install right here. Now, in this case, I'm not actually going to be hauling away the old cabinets here. They're actually going to be keeping those around. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck this part because I won't need that priced out in my estimate. And then I'm just going to add these remaining two items into my project to get started here. Now, we also needed to price out this new granite countertop with backsplash. So we're going to be installing that for them. So let's go back into Add Templates and let's see what we have available for that. So once again, I'm going to head into Kitchens, and then we want countertop replacement. And then we have a whole bunch of different options for countertop replacement. What I'm looking for is granite. Here's granite. Yes, here we go. So granite with integral sink. So we're going to go ahead and grab granite with integral sink. Remember, there's a lot of times these template descriptions that give you a little more information about what's included in the template. I'll always recommend taking a look at those descriptions. And then here we have all of these parts for our countertop replacement. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how many linear feet. So we need 15 linear feet of new granite countertop, and we're going to plug that in as our template quantity. So 15 linear feet, we'll go ahead and calculate it. And then it's going to suggest these quantities for these different parts. So at this point, I can go through and just double check everything, make sure it's correct. So we do have 15 linear feet of countertop we need removed. We are going to be installing a new sink, but we're not going to be providing it. So I see this material cost for a kitchen sink. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck this so it doesn't get added into my project. And then I have my labor cost for installing the sink and faucet right here. We have a miscellaneous labor for plumbing, since we are going to be doing the hookup on that sink. Then I have 30 square feet of granite countertop. And remember, we were looking at our countertop. That's just what we need since this is 24 inches in depth, 15 feet long. So we do need 30 square feet of granite countertop. Here is 15 linear feet of backsplash. And this last part here is for installing an integral single bowl sink. I'm not going to be doing that. Once again, I'm not picking up the materials here. So we're just going to go ahead and uncheck that. Now, keep in mind, as I'm customizing the parts in these templates and I'm unchecking things, this isn't going to affect the default settings for this template. It really allows me to fine tune it for this specific job and save the time of looking for these parts one by one. So everything looks good here. And now we're set to add all of these parts to the project in bulk. So we're going to do that by clicking Add Template down here. This is going to copy and paste all of those parts here into my project. Now I'm not done because there's a few more things I need to do. Some of those parts in that template did include material costs. So we can see there's material lines for the base cabinets and the countertop here, as well as the backsplash. But I can very easily just open these parts with the pencil in my estimate and remove that material cost very quickly. So just a handful of clicks, we can customize these parts for a labor-only situation. This way we're only dealing with labor costs. Great, so we filled out a lot of our estimate using a couple of those pre-built templates. You can see what a major time saver those are. There's a couple more things we're going to need to do here. We're going to need to clean up our work area, and we do want to install this new dishwasher. So we need to make sure that the designer dishwasher we're installing, that we're billing out for labor for that. So let's go ahead and search the part library. Let's say designer dishwasher. Here is a part for provide and install a designer dishwasher. Designer, I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Once again, they're picking up the material for this, and this is just labor only. Everything looks good. I have a built-in rate, and let's go ahead and add that part in. And then I also want to clean up my work area. So I'm just going to type in first floor cleanup. And let's go ahead and grab this part here. First floor cleanup, 100 to 200 square feet. And I just need quantity 1. That's just a single labor cost. We're going to add that part into our project. And then let's just double check, make sure everything else is accounted for. And yes, so that's everything I'm going to need for this specific estimate. So you can see we haven't even been on that long, just a few minutes here. We've already gotten this entire estimate all priced out. Just a handful of things we need to do before we send this over to our client. So first of all, we want to double check our markup settings down here. Keep in mind that all of the part costs and labor rates are pre-markup. They don't include any markup for us. So we can use these markup toggles down here in the markup tool to apply a percentage for material and labor markup. And then just above, we're going to have a breakdown of the actual cost of the project, the dollar amount of markup being applied, and the number at the end of the day for our client is right here. This is called your base bid. So it's never going to show your markup to your client. It's just going to roll that into the total project cost here. And then down here, we can always adjust the markup as needed. Another thing I did was I added in a miscellaneous item cost for sales tax, since there's no tax included in the cost data here. These are really easy to set up. You just click the plus, plug in a description, tell it how to calculate and save it, and then we can account for sales tax in the estimate as well. So let's really quick just take a look at the proposal. We'll take a look at the fruits of our labor here. We're going to come up here to this eyeball button, view report, and then we're going to click print to PDF. And this is going to pull up the document that we're going to be sharing with the homeowner here. Great, so here is my formal proposal. You can see it's personalized, has my company logo here. I added this when I signed up. You can always add this in your options tool. I also added in a paragraph of legal language up here at the top. This appears on all my documents. And then we can see the estimate contents itself. So we can see we didn't type any of this out. We didn't look up any of these rates. Clear Estimates is just going to automatically print out a professional sentence of text that explains the scope of work to the homeowner in language that they can understand. And then down here we have my sales tax item itemized. We have a total cost inclusive of my markup and a nice place my client can sign the agreement. So it just makes it so easy to put together estimates for replacement work all the way up to a full kitchen remodel or really anything under the remodeling umbrella Clear Estimates is built to handle. Now, back in the project here, we could do a few more things still. So let's say we had a couple of different rooms in which we are going to be installing cabinets. We can always set up components, what are called components, which are just a way you could organize the estimate by room or by phase of the job. If you're curious how this works in the software, you can just hover over this question mark and click more information, and it'll walk you right through that. Also, let's say we wanted to give them some different options in terms of different cabinet styles. We can set that up using alternates, which are just a way to set up change orders or showing options on the proposal without calculating them into the bid. That's what an alternate will do for you. So if you're curious how that works, once again, just hover over this question mark. There's going to be more information here that'll walk you through exactly how to use that tool. And that's really about all there is to it. Oh, actually, there was one more thing I wanted to show you really quick. So let's say we were working with a subcontractor and we wanted to plug in our sub's rate for one of these parts. We can go ahead and open this with the pencil. You could do this even when you're first adding a part into your project in the beginning. And let's go ahead and show you how to plug in a sub cost. So I went ahead and unchecked my labor cost for this part. This is install premium grade base cabinets. Maybe a sub is coming in to do the labor. We could go ahead and enable the subcontractor cost. And then there's a variety of ways we can calculate it. If we know how many hours it's going to take them per unit, we can plug that in here. But more often than not, your sub's just going to give you a total cost to do the job. So what you can do is click where it says hours per unit right here in blue, switch this over to lump sum. And there's actually a couple of different options. You know, if I had a per unit cost, maybe a cost per square foot or per linear foot to do work, we can use this option here. But more often with a subcontractor, they're just going to give us a total cost for the job. Let's go ahead and grab lump sum. And this just allows us to just plug in a number. So let's say they gave us $500 in subcontractor cost. We can plug that right into the estimate here and save it. And then we'll be able to use our subcontractor markup down here to mark up the subcontractor cost as well. So it's really flexible whether you're using subs or in-house crew. Just make sure to double check these markup settings, make sure you account for things like tax, and then we can get this estimate out the door. So that's really about all there is to it. So you can see how quickly we were able to assemble this estimate using up-to-date labor costs from our area and how easy it was to modify this into a labor-only estimate. Now, like I mentioned, our focus is really this cost data. We draw on a number of data sources to provide you with reliable costs, and these material costs are updated for you automatically every quarter. Labor rates updated for you annually. Now, as a subscriber, you're also going to receive our quarterly behavior index monitoring change in material cost over time and changes seen per region for different material types. So it's going to save you that time researching the costs, typing out the estimates, drafting invoices. This is all going to be handled for you automatically, which is just going to make you so much more confident in your estimating. Now, while we still have a few minutes here, I do want to share out a few quick resources for you. First off, if you have questions about Clear Estimates before you sign up, we'd love to chat. Feel free to schedule a demo here with our team. This is a QR code. You can scan this. It'll take you right to our calendar where you can schedule some time with us. You can also just head to the link that's listed there at the bottom, and you'll see the calendar. You'll be able to schedule some time with our team if you have questions before signing up. Now, if you're ready to just go ahead and get started, go ahead and start a free 30-day trial. You can use this QR code, sign up for a free trial here. It's the full version of the tool, free for 30 days. There's no limitations during the trial. It's the same software you'd be working with in your paid subscription. We even offer walkthrough calls with your trial. So this is a QR code to go ahead and start that trial, or just head to clearestimates.com. And if you've already signed up for a free trial or you're a current subscriber and you just like to learn how to use the system a little more in depth, feel free to schedule a full walkthrough call with us. This QR code will take you to a calendar to schedule a training call with our team. So if you're still unclear on anything or how the system works, or you still just have questions, feel free to book some time. We'll be able to connect to your screen and walk you through your account right on your end. And this is included in your trial. Like I said, no extra cost. So feel free to book some time. And if you do just have general questions about the presentation, or the software, or you just want to get in touch, reach us at support@clearestimates.com. Keep in mind, there's also chat support available in the site and in the tool 9 to 5 Eastern, Monday through Friday. So I do want to thank everyone so much for joining in with us today. Like I said, feel free to book some time if you do have follow-up questions, and we look forward to catching up with you at the next one.